for an original song.
Hey guys, welcome back to Danganronpa. Trigger happy. We need to find out what's going on, don't we? Well, we've already looked over here, haven't we? Inside the display case are trophies and other items. So we have seen this, so we're gonna head out of here. Now the next place we need to head is to the AV room. After all, we've got a DVD to watch. Now, where was the AV room? I believe it was this way. So it's only fitting to start our Halloweeny spirit. And I know a lot of people are saying the same thing. Why are you doing it in September purity? Well, I like doing September and October. It's fun. Why not 2 months of horror and spookiness? There's nothing inside. I do like the boom boxes. I should be able to use this to see what's on the DVD. The DVD that Sayaka threw in the garbage. I sat down in front of the screen and put the DVD in the player. I pushed play and the screen was dark for a few seconds, but then... an image slowly appeared. It looked like some kind of concert. And standing there on stage in front of everyone, front and center, was a face I recognized all too well. Sayaka. She was there along with friends she said she had been so important to her. She was positively glowing there in front of the crowd, so full of life. Seeing that image made it even harder to accept. Except that she was dead. My vision started to blur and darken, and then that voice I'd come to despise so much began to float out of the speakers.
Sayaka Maizono, the ultimate pop sensation, lead singer for a world-famous all-girl pop band.
Isn't that kind of common?
For these girls, the glowing spotlight only made them that much more beautiful. But then...
Suddenly the screen went dark, and in the next moment, I saw something I could hardly believe. What the? Sayaka had disappeared from stage, which was now in ruins. But what I noticed even more than that was the figures of the other girls who had all simply collapsed.
This ultra-successful team suddenly fell apart. None of them will ever perform on stage again. None of them will ever feel the warmth of the spotlight. For Sayaka, there's simply nowhere for her to return to. So here's the billion-dollar question. What, oh what, could have caused the group to go to pieces?
Look for the answer after graduation. Without warning, the video cut off. What the hell? That wasn't real, right? They're a super famous pop group. Everyone knows who they are. Is he trying to say he was even able to get to them? If that really did happen, everyone in the outside world must have gone crazy. Must be going crazy. What kind of person would take things this far?
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started, It's time for the long-awaited class trial! Now then, allow me to appoint a proper location for the proceedings. Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
The red door on the first floor. That's where I should go. No, where I have to go. So, as I like to do in these type of games, not press that button, but we're gonna hit a save. Why? Because, well, wouldn't be one of my videos without it, would it? Man, we did a lot of saving, didn't we? Here we go. So we are on The first floor, so he said the red door.
You!
Let's see. You're late, Makoto! We've all been waiting for you! I bet you were afraid you'd be discovered as the murderer you are.
Listen to me!
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Save that for the class trial. There we can all reveal the details of Makoto's crime. So they really are convinced I did it, but I didn't do it. Me and Sayaka both know that all too well. But then who is the killer? The one who murdered Sayaka? Is it really one of us?
Is everyone here? Okay then. Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fates will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
Okay. Let's get started.
Got it!
Relax, I haven't decided 100% that you're the culprit just yet. Maybe, but you're obviously leaning that way.
What the heck?
I can't help but wonder what whoever killed Sayaka is feeling right now. Well, did you find anything that might prove your innocence? I don't trust your ass, I forgot who you are. Being so insistent, even though you obviously killed her, very impressive.
You know what I mean.
Well, I did my job. I'm counting on the rest of you from here on out. Wait. What? That seems a little weird. So, the school's basement has become the Dawkins stage. We're all here to bear witness to Mr. Naege's final curtain call. Well then, the time has finally come. Are you ready?
I'm sorry.
Sorry in the end, I wasn't able to do any looking around or anything. Is this really how Sayaka would have wanted us to find out who killed her?
Hey,
There's no point in standing around here settling your resolve and step into the future. I can see the... Nope.
Impossible.
Damn, we really gotta go through with this class trial thing, huh?
You know?
If you want to confess, I guess now's the time to do it. I'm telling you, I didn't do it. Come here.
What?
Kurobara wannabe.
What?
So whoever stuck us here even took the time to set up a goddamn courtroom, huh? That's all of us. I guess I have no choice but to get on this elevator.
well then.
Let us begin.
Yes, indeed. Hey,
Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right.
Makoto.
I said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mysterious surrounding this case yourself. If you don't, you'll never come to grips with the truth. I need to uncover the truth of Sayaka's death. I didn't need someone else to tell me that. Now I was gonna say Leon because he seems a little suspicious. In Sayaka's honor, I swear I'll find out who the real killer is. As I raised my voice to try and give myself courage, I turned trembling with anticipation toward the elevator. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone was already on the elevator when I finally stepped on. The door closed and the elevator started to move. The steel box descended with heavy clunking sounds towards the school's basement. I wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when his time finally comes.
Oh!
Rather than that, is it not more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment? Obviously, to our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. You finally arrived! Ta-da! What do you think? Doesn't it feel just like a real courtroom? It's like a Hollywood movie set, right?
Shit.
Not even close. It's total shit.
Well now.
Okay, everyone find your assigned seats and sit down.
Yahoo!
Hurry up now. Hurry. We did what he said and found our seats. The seats were arranged in a giant circle. It was set up so that everyone could see everyone else, which also meant it'd be easy for anyone to transfer their tension and unease onto anyone else. The air seemed to grow heavy as we sat there. And so the curtain on our first case opened. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, and a deadly faith. A deadly class trial! Oh God, yes. I have been told to make separate saves for everything, by the way. And I fucked that up already. Open e-handbook. Bullet truth. View evidence and witness accounts. I'm gonna carry on file 1. The victim was Sayaka Mazono. The time of death is estimated to be around 1:30 a.m. The body was discovered in Makoto's room in the dormitory. The death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen, and her right wrist appears to be fractured. There are a number of scratches and gouges on the bed and walls in Makoto's room. We have a replica sword as well. Makoto took this from the gym entryway and put it in his room. The sword was found out of its sheath on the floor in the middle of the room. The sword handle was missing some of the gold coating that was part of the blade. Makoto took this from the gym entry and put it in his room. The sheath was found some distance from the sword itself, and it showed evidence of being scratched with a sharp object. So a knife. So she used the sword to defend herself, switching rooms. On the night of the murder, Makoto and Sayaka traded rooms and room keys. When the victim was discovered, Makoto's room key was also found in Makoto's room. Sayaka had originally asked Makoto to switch with her when someone attempted to force their way into her room, and she became frightened. This had been placed in Makoto's room before he arrived. It remains unopened, and there is no evidence of it being having ever been used. All of the other male students claim that they haven't used theirs either, but still. Not a single hair was found on the floor of the scene of the crime. In addition, the lint roller shows evidence of being used. Sayaka's right wrist, had been fractured, and her wrist was glittery at the injury's location. In addition, her hands appeared to be completely clean, except for the index finger of her left hand, which had some blood on it. Dying message. A series of numbers had been written in blood on Makoto's bathroom wall. 11037. It is assumed that Sayaka wrote these numbers while leaned up against the wall while she was laying dying. Bathroom door frame. Makoto's bathroom door was difficult to open, due to not quite fitting the door frame properly. The only two people who knew the trick to opening it were Makoto, the room's owner, and Sayaka, the victim. Bathroom doorknob. Makoto's bathroom doorknob had been broken. The screws holding it in place had been partially or completely removed. The nameplates on the doors to Sayaka and Makoto's room were apparently switched at some point. That's a little strange. The kitchen in the dining hall has a set of kitchen knives. Apparently, one of them had gone missing. The knife from the kitchen went missing while Aoi was in the dining hall. Aoi swears that Makoto did not come to the dining hall at any point while she was there. There is apparently a trash room within the school, and it's blocked off by a sturdy gate that can only be opened with a trash room key. The incinerator can be activated via a switch on the machine. Hifumi was on cleaning duty, and he claims that the last time he saw the incinerator, it was off. However, when Makoto checked on it after the incident, the nope, can't say it tonight, was in fact on. The distance from the gate to the incinerator, fuck you, I finally got it, was roughly 30 feet. A piece of burnt clothes was found next to the incinerator in the trash room. It is apparently part of a shirt cuff. It has a noticeable blood stain on it. Shards of glass were found next to the incinerator in the room. As it turns out, the glass ball would have fit comfortably in the palm of a person's hand. Apparently, Yasuhiro left the ball in the laundry room on accident, so anyone could have come along and taken it. Let's see. Review whatever personal belongings you have with you. Oh, okay. I don't think that'll do anything, but okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Set skills. I don't think we have any skills that we can use, but I'll check. Increase damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Okay, let's use that one. That seems to be the only one we actually have right now. Okay, we're going to be finishing preparations. Let's do this. Class trial, all rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Okay.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
That's retarded.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
You stop that right now.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think is the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Sure. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. What this means is that you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the mouse to aim, then fire with the left mouse button. I'm actually using a controller. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. Make your argument.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
That's right.
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Huh, something's off about what was just said. Because if Sayaka hadn't resisted at all, there's no explanation for what happened to my room. Now, I did press the A button. I'm not sure if that actually worked since I'm not using a mouse. For this debate, we'd like to take a quick sidebar. If you're unable to spot the refute someone's lies or contradictions, the argument will repeat. Within a group statement, some words appear in a different color. Did you happen to notice? That represents a potential hole in a person's statement, or a possible weak spot. These weak spots reveal important, though not always inaccurate, sections of a person's statement. Your truth bullets are only effective against these weak spots. So when you see one come up, take aim and fire, but only if you're sure it's actually wrong. Also, you can fast forward an argument by holding down the control key. I'm using a controller. Well then, good luck and have fun.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
Oh.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom.
I don't know what that button did.
So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she
What
was in
the
the
fuck does
bathroom.
that button do?
She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Huh. Wait, why didn't this work?
I assert that the one who was murdered...
Wait. That does that. So what button does it on a controller?
Yeah, we know that part already.
Concentrating.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
Oh, wait.
In
Do
the
I use that
bathroom.
button to do it?
So it seems most likely
Huh.
that
I wish
the
it told
killer
me.
must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Nah, it doesn't do it. Okay, it's Y.
No, that's wrong.
Sorry, guys. Again, it's telling me my controls for the keyboard and mouse, not for my
Just a
controller.
second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Make your argument. Kitchen knife.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
No shit.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, that's wrong.
Break.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
And if you look real close,
I don't know why that's good,
I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She knows. She knows the killer will end up saying. She's right. There's got to be a breakthrough somewhere just waiting for us. Because I damn well know I'm not the killer. Well, there's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Let's learn some more, guys. You can concentrate by holding down the space key. Not the space key. It's the bumper. While you're concentrating, time will slow down so you can pay close attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it'll steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak points. Concentrating like this consumes focus gauge, and if this gauge empties, you can't concentrate. But the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest. No need to rush. Well then, good luck and have fun. Make your arguments.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
Yes.
But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret when nobody was in the dining hall.
Bullshit.
And then he went and stabbed Sayaka with it.
So he really did do it.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yes. Then it's been decided.
I know that voice.
We've reached the end.
I know that voice. No, we haven't. Let's repeat. Some way to prove I didn't take the knife. The person who was in the dining hall last night should be able to do it.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret when no...
Got it.
No, that's wrong.
Break.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying that the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
I can.
That's right. Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis. You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
Holy shit, dude, that's another chick, you know that, right?
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because... they're not here anymore.
Someone who's not here? Are you talking about...
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Sayaka? Okay, so... let's see. The person who took the knife from the kitchen was...
I got it!
Sayaka.
Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
then the person who took the knife was the victim herself!
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all!
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction?
Is that the same voice as the one from Monokuma? Monokuma?
You possess a most terrifying talent.
Damn it, if I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Your first hangman's gamble is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? As things advance further in the class trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the mouse to aim and the left mouse button to shoot the desired letters. I'm thinking it means the Y button. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to your influence gauge. If this gauge reaches 0, or if you run out of time, you fail. Well, good luck then, and have fun. Something that should have been at the scene, but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. We can just figure out what that something is. Hangman's Gambit. Your thing actually moves on its own. There.
Now I understand!
Complete.
That's right! There wasn't a single hair on the floor!
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true!
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind.
The killer struggled getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is the object the killer broke, which was very easily
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Makoto said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point here? There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debate. Would you like to hear more? Yes. Let's see, absolutely. From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. No matter how many weak points, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in that debate. What I'm telling you is not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use truth bullets on the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. Now this is important because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you fail. You'll have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Well then, good luck and have fun! Monokuma, you're kind of an asshole. Bathroom door frame.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
She didn't lock it, it was
No, that's wrong!
Break!
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door... That's not lucky at all!
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked. So they didn't know that the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime that they didn't know was the crime took place in Sayaka's room, the crime took place in my room.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
No, it's not.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms? Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you!
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well then, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you...
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place.
Bitch, I will lend you!
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something in particular because of how frightened she was. That's the right answer here. There's no way Sayaka would let someone in. So that's your evidence? No, I mean, maybe not. Mr. Nayagi, you disappointed me. You disputed my sin, so let's hear. Oh, shit, I fucked up. Looks like I just embarrassed myself in front of everyone. Because she asked me to do something. Let's see. No, that's not what I was thinking of. Switch rooms.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point in even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
There's something I want to talk to you about, just the two of us, in 5 minutes. Come see me in my room, Sayaka. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means, only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But...
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Then that note? Sayaka wrote it.
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
Alright, let's see what we got here. Make your argument. Dorm nameplates.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
So in other words,
even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
I have to wait.
It certainly would seem that way.
The killer went to my room instead of Sayaka's, and the reason for that is... It has to be because we switched rooms. I'm sorry, guys.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly.
The room that Makoto... No, that's wrong! The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right? Okay, then who did it?
You look a little nervous. There's only one person who would have switched the nameplates. The only person who would have switched... Who would have knew we had switched it was
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just the two of us. In 5 minutes. Come see me in my room. Check the nameplate to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her! We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because when I look at her wrist, there's no doubt.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room? And what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. And we will next time, guys. Thank you for joining me for another Danganronpa. We're gonna finish this case up in the next episode. See you guys then.